Terribly sorry. That's actually another reason why. Hold on a minute. That's actually another reason why I haven't been on lately, because I'm running out of discs. I gotta go buy some more. Okay, so human beings are savage beings. We're savages. And we've been killing each other for thousands of years. We didn't just start killing when we invented the gun. And I really didn't like when the person said, call the police like a civilized person, because that means if I defend myself from imminent death, I'm not civilized. So if a guy comes in here to kill my mother, God forbid it happens, I'm to get on the phone and call the police and wait. Okay, fine, you do that, I'm not going to do that. This is not going to happen, it's very, very rare, but if it does happen, if I'm in that situation, I will enact my right to defend myself. I hope it never happens, but if it does, I will defend myself. And I encourage all of you to defend yourselves. Because when your life is in danger, when your life is in imminent harm, when you got your back against the wall, you've got to do something to keep yourself alive. Of course you got to call the police, but first you got to get out alive safely. Now let's talk about technology. The gun is probably, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, the gun is probably as close to perfect as we're going to get with technology. Is the gun perfect? No, it is not. However, when a gun manufacturer fires their gun 400,000 times, if it jams twice, it's defective. So the gun is held to a higher standard than the car, the computer, the cell phone, the whatever. The gun is held to a much higher standard than all of our other technology combined, basically. So it is less likely the gun is going to detonate accidentally, or some shit like that's going to happen. So now let's talk about this aspect of it. Train of thought. Alright. Let's talk about the gun safety. And you see me do gun safety. And that's not for the camera. I do it all the time. If I were demonstrating a gun today, I would take it out, do the magazine, do the slide, or if I had a revolver, I'd do the chamber, the cylinder. Why am I doing this? To make sure it's not loaded. If I'm firing it, I point it at the concrete wall. Why? The odds of the gun malfunctioning are rare, but it could happen. However, to prevent it from happening, to make sure it doesn't happen, I'm going to double check the gun to make sure it's not loaded. I'm going to point it away from human beings and animals and other innocent things. And I'm going to handle it that way. That way, God forbid, the gun does malfunction, it's not going to hurt anybody. Good idea. Now, when I took my safety class in New York, I take a safety class for guns, for handguns. The gentleman that taught me was 88 years old. He passed away last year. He was 90. And I've never seen a gun accident. Thank God I haven't. And all the information I've heard about gun accidents came from first-hand knowledge, newspapers, documentaries, or you people on YouTube talking about accidents or seeing accidents once in a while. None fatal, thank God. Every gun accident I've heard of in my entire life, without exception, was 90% human error. Even if the gun malfunctioned, the accident happened because the human made a mistake. And this old gentleman showed us the book, the instructions book from the NRA, and there was a line in there that was actually on our test. Gun accidents happen as a result of blank blank. Recklessness and carelessness. Recklessness, carelessness. And he told us a scene. A man was firing a gun. The instructor saw this. A man fired a gun. The gun did not fire. That's supposedly called misfire. It means the gun did not fire. But another aspect is hang fire. That means I pull the trigger and the gun waits 3 seconds to fire. So this guy had a gun, took it, aimed it, pulled the trigger. It didn't fire. So what did he do? He turned it around, and as it went like boom, the bullet missed his head by that much according to the instructor's recollection. Now, whose fault was that? Well, first and foremost, it's the gun's fault for malfunctioning. However, it's the man's fault because he put the gun in a position where the malfunction could have been fatal. Understand that. And let's not just talk about only guns. Let's talk about other forms of technology. For instance, when I was in high school, I took carpentry, not woodshop, carpentry. I had to have a major. School was 9th through 12th, and for 10th, 11th, and 12th, you had to have a major. Mine was carpentry. Every year we had to copy the safety regulations verbatim. We had to practice safety, and every day I would use machinery that could cut off a finger. Some machines could cut off an arm. Let's talk about cars for a minute. Your car. If you drink a lot of beer and you get into a car, you can kill somebody. You have a text message and drive? If you're text messaging while driving, you can kill somebody. If you're just simple speeding, you can kill somebody. So what do? Do we outlaw cars, outlaw cell phones? Do we outlaw alcohol again? No, we do not. We enforce harsher penalties for drunk drivers, guys that use their cell phones while driving, and just guys that drive recklessly in general. Understand this, no matter what your technology is, a gun, a hacksaw, a car, a cell phone, your technology is for you to enhance your life with, or enrich your life, or make your life simpler, or God knows what else. But you have to understand, more than 90% of the time, if the technology fails, who is at fault? Here, this is the guilty person right here. This is at fault when your technology fails more than 90% of the time. So you go to court for drinking and driving, or speeding, or doing text messages and driving and killing people by accident, tell the judge it's the cell phone's fault, or the car's fault, or whatever, or the alcohol's fault. Tell the judge. Watch how far you get. Okay? These gun advocates, they're entitled to their opinion under the First Amendment, just like we're entitled to what we do under the Second Amendment. But I implore you, if you do not like guns, there's two things you can do. One, you can write your congressman, and you can tell your congressman, I don't like guns, and I want you to enforce harsher penalties for criminals that use guns for violence. In addition to that, I want you to go to the local gangbangers hideout and protest. Because when someone goes into a neighborhood and shoots it up and kills a lot of innocent people, that's not law-abiding citizens. Those are criminals that use illegal guns. And you're protesting here. We're not the ones doing the bad things. They are. So go take your protest to the gangbangers, to the drug lords, to all those people. This other advocate said something that is very inaccurate, I talked about. He said that the UK, the United Kingdom, has outlawed guns. And they've had some very, very strict gun laws recently. Okay, that's true. There are no violent crimes in the UK. Really? I've heard some statistics say, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I've heard some statistics say that in the UK, violent crime has increased 140%. And I've heard some people say that stabbings have replaced shootings in UK because there are no guns. And I've heard some statistics say there's still shootings with illegal weapons. The point I'm trying to make, you, the user of the technology, it is your responsibility to use it properly. And it is your fault when it is not used properly. I think this disc is also running out, so I think we're going to cut today. Thank you.